evening. My name is Paul DiBiase. I live on Amsterdam Avenue, town of Rotterdam. First of all, you're in a horrible position. I feel for you, Nick, because you're in a bad position. I won't go there. This past Saturday, I was leaving my home, and immediately I was stopped by a woman who was trying to get a dog in her car. The dog was on Curry Road. She said the dog almost got hit several times. It was not her dog. I assisted her. I stopped and I asked if she needed help. She said, "It's not my dog." I said, "Well, I'm on my way I play in a band. I was on my way to a job. I couldn't be late." She said she called the Rotterdam Town Police, and they said there's nothing they could do to let the dog go. I'm not blaming the Rotterdam Police Department in any way. We have a fine police department, so I want to make that clear. However, I know we have an animal control officer, who I believe, or I was told, makes around $10,000 a year, pick up stray animals. Was this person on duty? Why did I have to take this dog to my house, feed it, keep it warm? I didn't hear back until Tuesday afternoon, and my wife received a very rude phone call saying, "You have a dog?" And my wife said, "No, my husband brought it to the pet hotel." Thank God they have this place in Rotterdam, because this guy's a saint. He takes in dogs. But do we have any backup plan in the event that this person is not available? Do we have a list of people we can go to? He must take vacations. He must be sick. What happens to the dogs of the town? It's very upsetting. This dog was freezing. It was 14 degrees out on Saturday. And I tell you, I was disgusted that I had to take the dog to my house and feed it and keep it warm. It broke my heart. Okay. With all this switching and the, moving this position, moving that position, that's going on, I wonder if we have a plan in place, that we have a B plan, a C plan. Maybe we could offer some town employees a per diem if this animal control person's not available. Call the next person down the list, pay them as call basis, so we don't incur any extra expenses to the town. But it was very upsetting. And I tell you, in 22 years, I've never been to a meeting in Rotterdam, and I feel I have to come because the senior citizens of this town are the people who built this town, spend their money here, pay their taxes. You know, when I moved to Rotterdam from Schenectady, I thought this is great, because Schenectady for a while was not in good shape. Rotterdam's in good shape. These seniors don't look like a well-oiled machine. They look like they're very upset. I don't know, maybe I'm not on the mark here, but these guys look very upset. These are the seniors of Rotterdam, so I think rather than focusing on moving people and upsetting people, taking 14 months to find out whether someone's doing a good job. You know, when I hire someone down at the college in 2 weeks, they're either cutting the mustard or they're gone. When I hire someone in the band, 1 to 2 weeks, you're either singing off key or you're out. 14 months. That's for you to decide, but it seems a little ridiculous. So, I feel for the employees of the town of Rotterdam that got moved. I feel for the seniors. My band plays for the senior citizens once in a while. They're a great group of people. I know John DeGiorgio. He's a fine man. I know Diane Marco. Whenever I see her at any of these dances, very receptive to the people. There's got to be something else that's not coming to surface behind the scenes that's going on. So I feel for these people, I feel for the seniors, and I really wish that rather than concentrating on playing a little domino game, we could have a plan in place so that I don't have to pick up stray dogs and care for them and then wait 3 days for something to happen to them. It's not nice. It's not. I'm an animal lover, and I'll tell you, it really upset me a lot. So seniors, thank you for spending your money in Rotterdam and paying your taxes and being great people. Thank you.
Tim Longo, 30 Princetown Road, and part-time animal control officer. When I got the report, it was called into the PD. PD files a report on it. Monday we had off, went in my box, got the call, called, if I pronounce it right, Tobias, whatever, and announced who I was and said, "You have the dog." And she said, "No, my husband turned it over to the dog kennel of a Happy Dog." Okay, and that was the end of the conversation, so I don't think I was too rude. Secondly, it's printed right on the report as it comes into the station what that individual was going to do with that dog. And then on the report, if you would like, you could file that, or foil the report and get a copy of it, and go from there. Thank you very much.
Anybody else wish to speak?
Mark Delavilla, Rome Street. I have some questions, not about a lot of what's going on here, but something to do with the budget. Some of what I heard tonight as far as the computer company and speaking to Mr. Aragosa and getting his opinion. I really would like to hear his opinion on that, because when it went to the budget and his opinion on borrowing the money out of the fund balance, he said it could be done, but he wasn't in favor of it. So we can't use his opinion when it's convenient and then ignore it when it's inconvenient. That's just the one thing. Also, the board has, members of the board have used terms like relying on department heads for information. Granted, that's true. Also, the supervisor is the head of the department head, so when he makes a decision, I think some of what he says should be backed up by the board. Also, members of the board wouldn't vote on certain things because they said they wanted department head paperwork because we have to do certain things by the book. Some women at the seniors filed a grievance, which was put in place by a previous administration, a process on how to do it. The issue was that we spent $6,500 or $6,200 of the taxpayers' money to file a grievance that shouldn't have been done. The grievance was put in place, the system was put in place, so the proper procedure was to file that grievance, not to turn around and say the department heads should get together and discuss the issues and work it out. Either we're going to do things by the book for everybody, step by step, or we can't pick and choose what's convenient. As far as the budget, my big concern is we borrowed the money from the fund balance. We're planning on money from ALS. The governor is going to put a 2% tax cap on. Mr. Aragosa stood up here and he recommended not taking the money because the last time the fund balance got low or ran out, there was a double-digit tax increase. The taxpayers got hammered. Well, now, with a tax cap, there is no way to start putting this money back. The town has no income. So the budget that got put through and the departments that were cut, I really would like to know every meeting where we stand on how we're going to do the budget next year. If we're not going to lay people off, which it's a hard thing to do, the governor's doing it, other towns are doing it, we have to pick and choose, but we have to come up with an approach and not one week say we're going to do it by the book, one week say department heads are going to make the decisions, then when the department head makes a decision we don't like, we're going to vote on it. The taxpayers deserve to be treated fair on every issue. As far as the seniors, seniors have worked hard, they've paid their dues, they have a right to be taken care of. But also, you need to start bringing young people in. The largest money spending groups, which I mentioned to people, are 16 to 38. We have to start encouraging these people to come into town because they buy new cars every year, they spend the money on clothes, they go out, they support the businesses, which we need in this town. So as far as the board up here, bickering over certain things and not backing the supervisor, saying gotta go department heads and not voting on things because paperwork is in, there's a procedure. There's a procedure for everybody and everything. The town board should come in and say exactly what the supervisor's job is, what their job is, and follow that to the letter for everybody. That's my opinion.
Diane Marco, 842 Curry Road. I would just like to comment on Mr. Delavella speaking about the $6,500 that the taxpayers' money was spent on. It was an HR consulting company, and just for the record, the #1 recommendation of that company was to adopt an operating policy and procedures for the brass rail. I have to thank the 3 board members that did do that, but Mr. Godlewski and Mr. Delgado did vote against that, but that was the #1 recommendation, and I have to agree with it. But that was nothing to do with Diane Marco, that was to do with the town never had operating and policy and procedures. So whatever happens at the senior center, at least that's adopted, and that is something that really needed to be put in place. But I just wanted the residents to know that is what became of that report. Thank you.